This is Irontrader, and this is Midday Trading. So today we're going to take a look here at crude oil, at natural gas. But first of all, we'll take a look here at Tesla. TSLA, she's selling off here a little bit here today, but we'll see where she's going to go. Okay, this video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy or sell any stock market ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, here we have Tesla. Look at that run up there. Hey, just a kind of like a gap and go. This was the election boost here for old Tesla. Now, just remember, that's exactly what it was. It was an election boost. This was not on anything that they're doing, selling cars or production or anything on that order or making money on that. This is just basically AI going in the future and all this kind of stuff. So always take that consideration. What goes up is going to come down. Now, this is one of my favorite trading stocks because it's got big movement, big volume. You can get in and out of it very, very nicely. Okay, so you can see here where we topped out there at 358.64, and then we just had a couple of side days here, and now today we put in that lower low. So what you want to watch is today's low. That's at 316.28, and then this 8 day is going to be very, very critical. That's going to be that 310.55 here now. Now, again, if that's lost here, what we do is we come over to the top of this candle. You're looking at 299.75, and then we'll look to the bottom of this candle, 297.66, okay? Then we just follow the candles down, okay? We're looking at that 289.59, the top of that candle. Then we look to the bottom here at 285.52. Now, there's a couple key levels here I want to show you. As you want to watch it always, if it does get really hammered, you want to make sure that you watch the bottom of this candle. This is at 275.62, okay? Because there's your gap. Okay, and then the top of this candle here at the 255.28, there's your fill. Okay, so your gap and your fill. Then we have another one going on right down here too. So at the bottom of this candle is 238.88, and there's your gap. And then the top of this candle here is 218.72. So your gap, and then you have a fill here. Okay, so we got to always watch those here just in case when it does really sell hard. Okay, this here will go, the price will go into the gap first, and then, you know what I'm saying, then they'll do the fill. But right now, what we're doing is really watching that 8 day. That's going to be very, very key at a closing basis, that 310.59. Okay, but always look to the left of the chart here because that's always very critical for your support level. So you want to look at that 273.54 level, and then we want to come right over top of this candle here at that 263.98. So there's a lot of support levels here. We have your gap and your fill, okay, then a gap and then a fill situation here. But again, we also have these simple moving averages. But let's just say that just like a 1 day deal. Okay, so then what you want to do is you want to look to the bottom of yesterday's candle, okay, which is basically 344.60. Then we want to look at today's high. What did I look at? I look at the wrong thing there. 322.50. And then we want to look at today's high here, okay, at 329.98. And then we can just work yourself all the way up here until you get that big retest at 358.64 level here. But again, you know what I'm saying? This is just a ways off here. But again, this is why I like this trader because you got really big movement. So just watch this 8 day on a closing basis. That's going to be very, very key. Now you can see here on the RSI, we got to that overbought condition here. And then she's selling right off now. We got to see if that's going to curl right back up here or she's going to sell right on down. Now your green is still over your red, but looks like it wants to roll. Again, you're right in that overbought conditions. Pretty much like what you had here, and then you can see where it just rolled right on down here. Now remember, this was not trading on any kind of earnings or any kind of sales or anything like that. This was just strictly a MOMO and a FOMO stock because Elon Musk there is pretty much going to be with Trump there, and maybe he'll clean up the place and cut some of that nonsense out of there. You know, all this waste that's going on because he's really good at that. I mean, if you ever looked inside of his factories, it looks like he's got like 3 people working there. You know what I'm saying? Everything is all automated. So I don't know how this is all going to work with the government and everything, but we'll have to see. But we don't care about all that. All we care about here is how are we going to make money off the stock. That's what a trader does. So again, just watch this key 8 day. That's going to be very, very critical on a closing basis. Now we follow the candles down and then just watch that gap, that fill, and then we have that 21 SMA here. Okay, let's take a look here now at crude oil. Okay, here we have crude oil daily chart. Now, the EIA report came out today, And you had a pretty good sized build in crude oil. Okay, it was over 2 million barrels that we had a build in. Distillates had a draw of 1.39 million, and then your production you had 13.4. Last time you were producing 13.5. Okay, gasoline had a really nice draw today of 4.4 million, and then Cushing had a little bit of a draw at 0.688 million. Don't worry, I'll have all those numbers posted for you here after the pit close at the end of the video, so you'll have all that there. But again, it was just kind of bearish there for crude, which is really this time of the year, but very, very bullish in gasoline. Might have something to do with all the hurricanes and that kind of a situation. Okay, let's see what we had here. We had a nice good topping tail going on here again. Okay, we had a high of 69.39 level. So what we want to do, we want to watch the bottom of that candle there. What we have there is a 69.74. It didn't quite make it there, but now we're starting running into all this resistance. You can see here now where it is 8-day at 69.86. You crossed over right here on that 69.94. You crossed over on that 21-day. That's never good. And then if you can get above all that, we have this 50 SMA here, but this is a total cluster here. Okay, very, very difficult to get in because if you just look at over here, okay, when you have all these simple moving averages lined up, this is what you get. Okay, same way with here. Look how many times we went in and went, then it broke down before it kind of broke on up situation. So always remember that. So you look at the back of the chart here, see how you went right into the 200-day, see right into the 100-day, right into the 200-day again, into the 200-day, into the 100-day. See all that there? Okay, so you got to be very, very careful. So now what we have is we have like a sideways action kind of situation here. So basically, you just want to watch all these simple moving averages. 69.94, okay, to that all the way to that 50-day at 70.53. This here you have to close above in order to get to that 72.88. If you can't close above, you're not getting there. It's just that simple. Okay, let's look at the downside here. So what you want to watch here is that 67.92 level here. This is what we're watching, and then we can do is we just look at yesterday's low. Okay, so you got 66.94, and then we can come down here to your retest there at 66.72, which is basically that candle. But let's just see how if this price channel here is so far it's holding. And if you look at this, you have a low, you have a higher low here, we have a higher low, we have a higher low. So right now this isn't really that bad. It's just that, seasonality here is not in favor here of the old crude oil, okay? Now, remember, they had that OPEC meeting there on the first week of December there, and that's going to be very, very critical to see what they say. They wanted to add crude oil to the market here. That's really not a good thing here, especially with the new prez coming in there. He likes big volume, okay, and low prices, okay? So that's not going to work here if you want, $80, $90 in oil. That's not going to work with him. Okay. So what we really want to watch here is just watch yesterday's low. That's going to be key, 66.94, and then watch today's high. That's at 69.39. But right there, that right here, when you start running to all this resistance, you got to get above that, in order to do anything. Now today was actually a pretty good scalp there in the UCO. That worked out actually pretty good. I think I got 40 cents out of that, trading 5,000 shares. So that worked out pretty good here. So again, this is Thursday, so we guys got to watch the rig count. It's not really a big much mover on Friday here, but what you got to do on this here is just trade it. Okay, just trade this action here. We start losing that 66.72 level here, which is the bottom of that candle. Then you're going to come right down here. But realistically, here's your target is going to be that 65.27 level. Okay, let's take a look here now at natty gas. Okay, now natural gas here, you can see here where we had this bull flag situation. Okay, it rose on up here, and then we got as high as that 3.02. This is what we're looking for right here at 3.019. So on this day here, we came in at 3.013, just a hair below that bad boy. And then yesterday we peaked up there, but you notice that it couldn't hold it, and today we got a big ass red candle. Now, the EIA report came out, and you had a build of 42 BCF, billion cubic feet. And last week they were expecting 43 billion cubic feet build, and then the previous week was 69 billion cubic feet before that. So it's getting better, but I guess unless we start getting some cold ass winters here or something on that order, natural gas here is kind of stuck. So we got to see how this is shaken out. So really the key level here we want to watch on downside is very simple. And just watch that 2.80. That's what we got going here. Now again, as long as we hold this 8 SMA here, we're looking good. Now again, if that's lost, then just look to the bottom of this candle. Okay, that's your next target. 2.76. Okay, there's your gap, and then look to the top of this candle. Okay, you're looking at 2.748. Your gap, your fill. That's only if that 8 day is lost. And then what we can do is we come right down to the bottom of these candles here. You got 2.65. Right here, you got 2.64, but realistically, what you're looking for is this 21-day here, that 2.63, and we're looking at that 50-day at 2.59. But what we have here is just sideways action, so you just got to trade. Now, I was going to scalp the UNG today, but I just didn't see anything there and then I jumped in the KOLD, and that was a really good trade here on the short side. So what does that get out of that KOLD there? It got a low of 68.07 and a high of 72.64. So you had 4.5 points. I didn't get that. I got 3 points out of it so far out of KOLD. So that worked out good. I was only looking for 2. So I got 3 points out of that KOLD here. So I'm out of the trade. I have no trade position in natural gas here. Okay. So I have them short on the crude, and then I'm scalping crude long. Okay. So I'm short, but I'm scalping it. Okay. Because I just don't see here, especially with the new administration coming in here, where crude's going to be rallying up here. Unless you've got some kind of conflict, a war, something like this, I just don't see. I just think it's going to go lower. And once you start breaking that 65 level, you got 63, 64, 60, and at 57, and you could go down mid-50s there very, very easily there on the old crude scheme. But natty gas here, what we'll do is we just watch this here. It's 2.80. Very, very critical. If we lose that, we just look to the bottom of that candle. There's your gap, your fill, and then we look to the bottom of this candle. But basically, you're looking for that 21 SMA here. That's going to be your target. Now, on the upside here, well, what we do is we just follow the bottom of the candles here. So you look at the bottom right there. Okay, you're looking at that 2.85 level. And then we'll come over to the top of this candle. You're looking at 2.95. And then we look at today's high, 2.98. And then we have your retest at 3.02. Now, again, if you can crack that 3.02 level, then bottom line here, this is what you're looking for. A target is 3.15. Okay, so that's going to be your next target. If you can move higher than that, then what we do is here, we're going to look at the top of this candle here, looking at 3.39. Okay, very, very simple. But again, one level at a time. But right now is not the day we're going to get that level. Okay, it's just that simple. So just trade this range here. Now, what I'm doing is just waiting to see if it holds this 8-day. If it does, then I probably might take a scalp long here and take that bad boy right back up. If it doesn't, I'll jump right back in that cold again and take it right down to that 21-day. Okay, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here after midday trading and trade what's in front of you, not what you want.